And we're going to roll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Away with Words, the podcast. It's your girl Bree Stories.
It's A Tati.
And it's MJ and Kia.
Yes, and be easy in the back. What's up?
Hey.
We bike.
What's
we
going
bike.
on?
Tati's bike. Tati is bike.
Good to have you, Tati.
Good to have Tots. Today's episode is produced by Tati. Before we get into that, however, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. You guys listening and looking at this, ratings and reviews really, really help us, and we are really extremely interested in getting in front of more amazing people like you. So please take a few seconds. I know some of y'all listen to us on your drive, but make a mental note when you're done driving. Take a couple of seconds and just rate and review. Even if you have before, it really is a great deal of help, and we appreciate you for doing so. As well as if you're watching this, commenting below, whether you comment right now just to say, hey, what's up, checking in, I'm here, or you comment at the end of the episode, which I'll give you something to comment if everybody here can help me remember to do that.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to give us some feedback as you're listening along. If you want to be like, Bree, no, sis, that wasn't it when you said that. Or Tati, girl, what you talking about? Like, do that in real time. We're here. We're here
Michael,
to interact.
we completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's like, Michael, you're never wrong. So thank you for doing so. All the other things that you can do, as you already know. If not, please be here to learn that you can hit us up on our website, yaymash.com, which is where all things Away with Words, the podcast, and Bree Stories, and Tati Writings lives. So make sure that you are there, too. You can subscribe and get an email and things like that. Also, I have a second daily podcast, Your Morning Message. It is your weekday dose of perspective and intention, and you can listen to that and subscribe to that as well. And book moments too. We're getting to that.
Absolutely.
Oh, actually, it's about to be well, if you're looking at this and listening to this now, it's November. It's time for y'all to get ready for y'all Christmas cards, for your holiday
cards. As soon as possible, please.
Holiday cards. Because you can do cards for Hanukkah and Kwanzaa too, y'all.
I would love that.
Take the holiday back. Take the traditions back. So book your beautiful photos with a moment stew, all types of, even if you're single and you want to do it with your dog. You know what I love?
I think that is a great
Yeah.
I saw a
holiday
thing.
card
I saw a
option.
thing on TikTok of this woman who's been doing like holiday cards every single year in every phase of her life, and to be able to look back on that after 10 years, because first it was just her, then she got a cat, then she got a man, and then they had a baby. Like, it was so cute to like see all of them lined up like that.
Yeah.
Start that
Yeah.
tradition. Start it with
Yeah.
Mama Stew. So come book.
I like the idea with your animals. I would
that
rather
would be really
take a
cute.
holiday picture with my dog than my family.
Word.
I think that's a more fun
Yeah.
experience. It'd be stressful with the family.
Getting everybody together.
That'd be stressful. Getting everybody
on the same
dressed
accord.
alike. Getting everybody to be there on time. When I could just pull up with my dog and we in and out.
I think one year I'm going to arrange for us to do a chosen family portrait where it's just like all of my close friends.
I love that.
So stay tuned for that too. But yes, listeners, strap in, get ready. Thank you for being here. Tati,
Word.
do you want to start with an icebreaker?
So, y'all know that I am on TikTok now.
Woo!
And so
I
I
forgot
don't
that.
like do anything on there, like of myself. But I
Do you
just be
follow
like
me?
scrolling.
Do you follow me?
I follow, yes. I do follow Michael.
Okay.
I follow, I don't think I found you. That's why. I think Michael followed me first.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't, everybody that I follow,
You know, I won't
followed
connect my
me
contacts.
first. They have to find me first.
That's probably why, because I don't connect my contacts. So
Oh,
they probably
yeah.
was like a new person in your contacts.
And
or
mine
something.
does, which is very
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
I
Because
get
like I
that.
follow Away with Words,
Right.
you know. So
You know.
all the things that follow me first, I follow them. It's only like 6 people. Don't be alarmed. But
I have the same amount of followers now as my apartment number. It's 14.
Oh.
It's so cute, right? We're
That is
growing.
amazing.
I be on there crying and stuff, so people relate.
Yeah.
so I just be scrolling the videos, and one of the things that I like the most is watching recipes and like watching people cook.
Yeah.
And I've been watching lots of white people cook and make dishes, and it's been very interesting seeing the ones that look appealing, and then seeing the ones where I'm like, yep, that's white people stuff,
Yeah.
you know. So with Thanksgiving being right around the corner, I wanted to ask, What dish do you feel comfortable asking our Emilys and our Sarahs and all of our white people friends of our lives to bring to the function?
Ooh,
Okay.
bring to the function. Yikes.
So if we're talking about Thanksgiving, absolutely nothing. Absolutely not anything. Don't touch it, actually. Not interested. But let me think of like a white person dish that I feel like when I was a little kid, we had like this one white family on our block, and I got chummy with one of the kids, and I went over there for dinner one time. And this isn't really a white meal, but I think that when at that age, because I only really saw it on TV, like my mama didn't really bang with it that much. Meatloaf felt like a white people thing to me when I was a kid.
Okay.
Oh.
And I don't remember that white woman's name, but she put her foot in that meatloaf.
She tore it down.
She tore it down. So I don't let a white person bring the meatloaf for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Maybe
Because I
that's
don't
how-
want, I know, but you know what? I know that a lot of black people don't fuck with the ketchup topping. I know black people who do a gravy on their meatloaf and stuff like that. But I have kind of a trash palate, you know, like I still eat Taco Bell and stuff, like and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So certain things I can just bang with. I like
So they
it.
can
I
bring
like
meatloaf to Thanksgiving?
That's what I said. If it's Thanksgiving, nothing. But if it's just like, oh, we're having a potluck, which I would do a potluck for just like a regular day, but I would never let anybody contribute to my Thanksgiving. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But potluck, yeah, bring the meatloaf. Emily,
Good. Thanks, Em.
Carson.
Yeah.
I love the name Carson.
I do too.
I often think to myself that like if I in another life, if I had another child and
would
it was
do
a
that?
boy, it would be spelled with a K.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
would have Carson.
I hate that, but I support you.
I would totally do it. I like it.
Can they just stick to desserts? I don't really want them to do any.
But
of the
you don't
main
even like
dishes.
dessert like that. You don't even
Exactly.
like fuck. You're like, y'all can make the stuff that I
I
don't
won't eat. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I feel like they're good bakers, right?
They
I
be
see that often.
Yeah, I be looking at them on the Food Network,
Pastries.
and they be
Paste.
jamming.
I
on the
might dabble
cupcakes
in one or two.
Tati, after you say this, I gotta bring something up.
Okay.
You just brought up Food Network.
Say what I was. So they would definitely have to bring something that is not anything that anybody else makes. I would
Yeah.
let them bring. They can bring a casserole. I would let them. That's one thing. TikTok. I have seen so many casseroles.
Really?
Baby.
So
So
many
many-
casseroles?
So many different forms and types of casseroles on TikTok, and to the point where I've seen so many, and that's why some I've started to look at and be like, that actually probably doesn't taste bad. You know,
Corn casserole.
Is your
The
Corn casserole?
corn casserole? That's what you want.
I trust Drew Barrymore, and Drew Barrymore was so excited about it. Did y'all see that video?
We
of Drew
talked
Barrymore?
about
No.
that last
year,
around
and
this
we were
time.
dogging it.
Yeah.
And I will forever, but I would eat Drew Barrymore's.
But that's another thing. A corn casserole, at its when you think of the
It's cornbread.
ingredients of it, yeah, it's not something that probably tastes bad.
Exactly.
It's just
Right.
corn and
Yeah.
cornbread.
And it's just like,
so
well, why
yeah,
would y'all do
I would totally
Yeah.
let them bring some form of a casserole.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
for one, because
But
I
it
would
can't be
also
like
just
tuna.
be interested to taste it. Just to
Let me know what your favorite casserole on TikTok is, and I want to see.
Yes. Ooh,
okay,
Share with us.
I gotta find. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna find one. Because
What I
they
was
be
gonna say.
casseroling it up.
Do y'all know Ina Garten? Are y'all familiar with Ina Garten?
I don't think so.
B? No? Ugh, okay. So this is for hopefully somebody out there in the ethers listening to this or watching this. This isn't going to hit the same with nobody to relate to around
Right,
me.
right.
Ina Garten is a classic, iconic Food Network chef lady, right?
Okay.
And if you ever watched any of her videos, she's constantly talking about her husband. Constantly.
That
like,
sounds familiar.
She's like the most my man ass bitch in the fucking world. Like every time she's cooking, she's like, yes, because Jeffrey likes a cocktail. And like she talks about him constantly, right?
Okay.
I never really watched Ina's show.
Right.
I would always just like frequent like clips and stuff and like whatever. On demand type stuff where it's just like, oh, watch Ina make this thing. But I never really watched her show to really see Jeffrey. I get it. I found a video. Well, I didn't find it. Twitter found a video of Jeffrey and Ina on some other show. Like Ina
Yeah.
was making a cocktail. The person asked Jeffrey, like, what is Ina to you? I think she was like, Ina has been in our homes for years. What is Ina to you? And he said, she's the center of my world.
Oh, wow.
And some other stuff, some other really fluffy, nice stuff. But I was like, I get it, Ina. You be on here every day. I swear to God, there's no
Can't take
episode,
Ina.
there's no clip of Ina cooking a thing without bringing up her man. She's
Right.
cooking it because her man likes it. And like,
Right.
it's amazing.
Can't wait.
So if anybody just wanted a burst of just like romantic joy, Ina Garten and Jeffrey.
Ina Garten and Jeffrey.
And he's fucking filthy rich. You never really think about like, oh, what does your husband do? He was like in Wall Street for a long time. Whatever.
Yeah.
She has a good man, and I'm just proud and happy.
She's a good man.
I'm happy for Ina. That was
got
like
a
my
good thing
that was
going.
my little one piece of joy this week. So
Don't
Yeah.
mess that up, girl.
yeah,
got a
it's
good
never
thing
it's never
going.
too late to fuck it up.
Because you know how Shantae Moore is about her damn man. Me and Brianna spent so much time
bitch.
diving into Shantae's Got a Man the other
She
day.
was such a bitch.
She was a bitch for that song. That was
Could
a bogus
you
song.
imagine, like, confiding in your friend, like, I'm really just struggling with my man. I just can't believe he treats me like this. And she's just like, that's crazy, girl, because my man is at home treating me right. Like, bitch, are you kidding? I hate Shantae Moore for that. I'll never forgive her.
I'll never forget.
I'll never forgive her for that. Anyway,
Oh my
sorry.
God.
We're getting carried
That's
away.
recognized.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for
That
breaking
is
that.
recognized.
And your homework is to send us send us your
Oh.
favorite casserole.
Yeah, I want to see.
Yeah.
I actually want you to send us your top 3 and tell us what your number 1 is and why.
Yeah. Homework.
It's on essay. So
We should do that one day for like a potluck thing that we do. It should be
Oh.
us making
something
random,
different, something random.
From
yeah,
TikTok?
like random.
I would-
Oh yeah, oh it could be that.
From TikTok?
a TikTok. I mean, a potluck of just TikTok recipes.
I would love that.
That would be a
yeah.
good idea.
Somebody got to make that
Fine.
cloud
Maybe
bread.
for Christmas, like around holiday.
There's something in
time.
my eye.
We could do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Something in my
Okay.
eye.
Let's not forget that. I feel like we say a lot of things.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We'd be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So B, while you're editing, while you're pulling out clips, text one of us and be like, put it on the calendar now.
Right.
Okay, let's check in. Physically, I got something in my eye, and I guess I'm kind of gassy.
okay.
Emotionally, pissing, crying, throwing up, the huge.
Wow.
My attention is currently on
Yeah.
better days.
Oh, shit.
just sorrow. But I mean it. Spiritually, I'm
But I mean
feeling spiritually I'm feeling exhausted. I feel like, you know how they be like, who told God that I was one of the soldiers? Like whatever, like
Yeah,
God
yeah.
gives the hardest lessons to his toughest soldiers. Like who
Right.
told you that I was that? Because I'm not.
Who said I was on the front lines?
I'm actually very weak. I'm very weak and fragile. Actually, like, child.
Sure words have never.
I'm going
been
to
spoken.
share something with y'all on the next
About me.
episode because I don't want to like overload this episode with like a lot of like wild shit. So next episode I'm gonna tell y'all something that my brother said to me that really made me laugh, but it's dark. So I'm gonna wait.
Let's bring some light to it. You
Yeah.
feel me? Come on now.
I'm so over you.
What did I do?
No, what did I do? Just over her being over you already. What did I do?
Anyways, am I going next?
Yeah, you can.
Physically, I am congested. I have had one nostril congested for this entire week.
Wow.
An
That's
entire
annoying.
week. I felt, and I had to stop because at first, like, so when I first was congested on
Monday.
Sunday, last Sunday, Monday, it was like congestion and I felt like a headache. So I knew it was like sinus
Related.
shit. Yeah. So I was taking medicine. And so now headache has went away, but the congestion will not go away. And I was ODing on sinus medicine because I was trying to like make it go away.
Yeah.
And I had to just stop taking it because I was like, it's not helping you.
Nothing's happening.
So why are you taking
That's something that you can find on
6 pills a
TikTok.
day.
I find a lot of, you can probably type in like something like remedy talk, and I bet you'll find a lady who's like, all you gotta do is mix these things together and breathe it in. Like,
man, because this bad boy, he just
oh,
don't
it's
want
the right one.
Yeah, he just don't want to breathe. No. Emotionally, I feel. I'm gonna say I don't know if this makes sense to say in this construct, but I'm going to say better.
Oh.
I feel better. And my attention is on competition.
Competition season.
Yes,
Yes.
I am. If I haven't told you guys, I am coaching my daughter's cheerleading team. So we are in full swing of teaching the routine and getting all that stuff underway.
Wait, what song did you choose?
I was
Did she ask you for a song too?
no, I
Oh.
was just
I was
going
like,
to. I needed to know that
Oh.
though. I needed to know like what song are we
When
doing?
y'all both were first like, what song are you doing? And I was about to say it, but
Yeah.
then y'all were both still talking about the excitement. So I was just like, so one song is like a TikTok song. It's
Yeah.
called Eyes.
How's it go? 'Cause
She
you
sent
know
it to me. I will play it. But
It don't really have. Well, it does have words in the beginning. I don't know.
Somebody.
Yeah, I'll play it for you guys.
No, I want you to sing it.
I
oh, I don't know
can't.
how it goes.
Yeah, I
Oh.
really can't. I don't
Fine.
know.
All right. And what's the other one?
The next one we are doing Ariana Grande,
Break free? Yeah, that's a good one.
But then, and then we're also
That's
doing
a
Happy.
great cheer song.
Oh, you are doing happy?
Yeah, we are still doing Happy. So those three songs.
Okay.
Happy by
will be
who?
mashed. By,
For real.
Oh, okay. Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Very
yeah.
cute.
So it'll be those.
Do you
three
remember
songs.
your first competition song?
No.
I do.
Do you really?
It was Christina Aguilera, ladies, well, gentlemen, well, and I hear it in my mind.
Oh, overdue.
No.
Give me
Dirt-
some room. Dirty.
Dirty.
Y'all
Dirty,
dance
yeah.
to Dirty.
I cannot believe y'all
Yes.
dance to Dirty.
Shout out to Tanza. Love you so
Yes.
much.
Oh
yes, we
my
did, and I'll
God.
never forget it.
Shake the room.
It was
Okay.
so good.
That-
You were
I mean,
on
I think-
Raiders?
Mm-hmm.
What year were you on the Raiders?
Late. I was like, I think I was like 6th or 7th grade.
oh, shit. Oh, y'all were older.
For-
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
we
trying
wasn't
to
that
figure
little.
out
Yeah, I'm
how
like,
missed
Yeah, I didn't
you.
start cheering. I started cheering late.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out how I missed you. Unless you stopped.
I was only on the Raiders for a little while because then when I got on Rush, which was
Okay.
which was like the All Stars team.
Maybe that's then why I'm like, because you started and stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, how would I have missed
Yeah,
you?
Tanza saw a real star in me, so
But-
she pulled me out and got me on Rush. So
Yeah.
period.
Let me see that
That's
toe
probably
touch.
not how it happened.
I'm
But
like, let me see that toe touch.
Let me see that toe touch.
it's like prove
So,
it
yeah.
now.
That's what my attention is on. Cheerleading overload.
Love it.
And
So cute.
spiritually, I am tired.
Truth is, I'm tired. What about you, McGee?
Ooh, physically, a little hot,
Word.
and a little sore. Been hitting the gym pretty hard.
Love
Um,
that.
Emotionally, I feel loud. I don't even know what that means, but I feel it.
You feel
Yeah.
loud?
Yeah.
Oh.
That just made my heart
fun.
space react. I love
Yeah.
that.
I don't know where it's coming from, but I just feel that.
Your dick.
Yeah. That's what I felt. Yeah.
that.
My attention is
Makes me
on just the rest of the year, I guess. We don't have much left, and my attention is
Thank
on it.
Goodness.
It's like that, but also like dread.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm thankful that it's gonna be over, but I'm
Yeah,
also
it was like, wow.
The dread of the new year not being like so much better.
no, just the dread of the holidays. Honestly,
Yeah, exactly.
But
Like so much.
I'm ready to look at the clock on December 31st and watch
Yeah.
11:59 and go to midnight. I feel like
Yeah.
we're gonna be like,
Yes. I
bet.
feel that way too.
New fucking beginning. New
It's just
start.
like, okay, here it comes. It's
Yeah.
all coming.
Yeah.
and it's
I'm
yes,
definitely ready for 2023.
Yeah.
ready.
2022 was
Up and down.
Awesome.
It didn't.
Shit.
It wasn't great.
Up and down
It
like
wasn't-
a roller
it wasn't
coaster.
great.
it was not great. And it's amazing how me and my friends, and even though me and all of my friends lead completely different lives,
So different.
in that how we're always aligned. Every
We're
time
having a
it's
shitty
year-
time.
Every time there's a year that one of us be thinking like, "Oh, that was a bad year," we all agree.
we're like,
It's like the last year that I remember us all collectively saying we didn't like.
2012.
You weren't. Yeah, I was like, you weren't around us at that time.
Oh,
that
it's
was
about 2011.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
2012 was
We
the worst
talked about
year
that year
of
all the
my
time. We'd be like,
life.
worst year ever.
Yeah. Oh wait, was it 2011 then? Because I feel like it sucked for me too, but I don't remember.
Did we end that?
That was
2010.
sophomore year of college.
So,
So we-
So
I
freshman
started
year for you of college.
Yeah, 2011. Oh, 2011 was the worst. I got kicked out of Roosevelt. I went back to a home that wasn't my home anymore. I had to
Yeah.
live with my dad for 2 weeks. Got kicked out of there. It sucked.
Yeah, 2011 was a really
Yeah,
good
Yeah.
shitty. I keep saying 2012, but it totally was 2011.
11, right?
Yeah.
Did we
Wow.
end it? Did we end it?
Wow.
Did we end that year at the hotel party that I threw? Was that it? I feel like it was. Maybe it
It
wasn't.
may have been.
Up and
And
down,
even
up
that
and
wasn't
down,
was
stop.
nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Even that hotel party wasn't even like just woo,
Yeah,
like great way to
it
bring
got
it in.
very stressful.
It turned out
was
to just
very
be
stressful.
a very stressful event
Sure
in
did.
time. So
Sure
Sure
did.
did.
Sure
that
did.
year, crazy.
Got
All
Um,
right.
Good riddance.
I don't know where I was. Oh, I said that was my attention is on the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Spiritually, we're on the phone. We're talking still. Still
yeah.
talking.
Okay.
Yeah. Exchanging conversation.
Get
We're
into it.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Cool, 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 cool.
Okay. Let's officially get into this episode, Tots.
So, I started watching Love Is Blind season 3,
And it'll take over.
and I want to preface this also by saying that this may be the last season that I watch.
Ooh.
Because I think that Love Is Blind may be just turning into a reality show
Interesting.
versus it being genuine, and not even necessarily intentionally. I think the intention behind it is still the same, but I think the crowd that it's drawing, just because it's become a popular show, people know about it. So it's like I think that initially people were signing up for it genuinely
For the
for
experiment.
love and for the experience, and now I think people are signing up for it because it's a show that they
Right.
can sign up for. You know,
Yeah.
so I think it's changing the relationships and the people and it's just, yeah. But anyways, so I don't want to, because nobody here has seen any of it. Correct. Okay. So I don't want to give big spoilers necessarily.
I also don't know
plan
about.
on
I'm about to say
watching it.
I don't know about not planning on watching it,
Talking
but I
about-
also don't care if you do
Oh,
because that was also the vibe that I was getting from social media, which is why it's taking me so long to even start it. I was kind of just like, I'll take my time with this one.
I had forgot about it because like I wasn't paying it attention. I just turned on Netflix one day and it popped up, and I was like, oh. And so I turned it on, and it was just like, oh, oh.
Gimmicks.
Yeah, yeah.
Gimmicks.
But okay, so one of the main topics that I feel like keep coming up in this episode, which we kind of got a taste of from the last season with Shake,
Shake.
with Shake,
The crazy.
Shake and
Shake.
Depty or Deep
Okay.
Deep D.
Okay.
with
I
him
know who they are.
talking about, you know, him not being sexually attracted to her or
Yeah.
whatever. Which, looking at what's happening now, in hindsight, it makes me look at the way he handled things and think that he handled it a lot better, or at least from what they showed.
Okay.
See, I don't know what was behind the scenes, because once they had met on that reunion, they made it seem like it was a lot more
yeah.
stuff going down that
Egregious,
we
yeah.
that we didn't know, and stuff that was a lot more disrespectful. But stuff that we actually could see on the screen is making me think that he low-key handled it way better than these niggas
In the
on,
That's
on the
this,
current show?
on this season. Yes,
Interesting.
because there are two couples that are going through this. I said two. I was holding up so many fingers.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Because I was trying to decide, am I saying two couples or am I representing the 4 people in
Yes.
the couple's house?
Your brain knew. Your
I
brain
didn't
knew
know
what you
what
was
to
doing.
do. So there are 2 couples that are going through this. There are Bartice and Nancy.
Bartice and Nancy.
And then there is Zaneb and Cole.
Zainab and Cole.
Yes.
Cute.
Both of the men are the ones that are saying, I'm not feeling the physical attraction towards the women. However, these are 2 couples, though, that from jump sexually, you know, like interacted, had sex immediately.
Oh, after they met.
After meeting. Yeah, so
They
these
got
are not,
right to it.
this is what I'm saying, like, if you think about how
Deep D and
Shake
Shake,
was, like,
right.
he was always kind of like, let's just
Not
take our
yet.
time. Yeah,
Let's-
like, I don't
yeah.
want to do that, and I don't know what's going on here. But these were 2 couples that immediately were, like, all over each other in the beginning.
That's triggering.
The, you know, like, the guys initially initial reactions were like sold. Like,
Oh,
this girl is amazing. Like, I'm into her. Starting with the dude Bartise, he had no problems with his girl. You know, they get to the part where they all get to meet up and they get to see the other couples.
Right.
When they all first meet up, he's telling the other guys, like, if everything was the way it was right now, I'm definitely marrying this girl. He's like, everything is perfect. Of course, they all try to set it up where one of the couples is also bringing, like, a person that somebody else dated in the pods.
Oh.
So
Even if they weren't in a couple?
like, you know how, like, Barnett, Jessica, and the girl from the first season, how it was like Barnett had also dated Jessica in the pods, but he chose Amber.
Right, but Jessica
ended
was
up
with
there.
somebody
Right.
else.
Right, but so they always end up bringing people on, like, from the other couples where it's like, but two of the people dated, though.
Yeah.
So one of the couples that came, Bartise had almost picked another girl. And he at the last minute chose Nancy. The other girl that he almost chose that's engaged to somebody else comes out, and he's just like, oh shit. She's drop dead gorgeous. He's like, she's so fine. She's fit. She's this and that. And it was in that moment that everything after that started being
Shifting.
I don't know if I'm feeling the sexual attraction. Like, that's when, like, things started changing. But what it made me think of is the line between being honest and being disrespectful. Because after all the couples see each other and they go back to the room, Bartise and Nancy, they're talking on the bed, and it's like the setup of, so what did you think of all the couples? How did you feel?
Right.
Nancy is like, after seeing all the guys, you know, it just made me more sure in my choice, and I'm just so happy that I'm here with you. He goes on to say his exact next words is, I had the exact opposite reaction. Those are his exact words. And he goes, Raven, which was the girl that he almost chose over her, he was like,
So that bitch
she's
is
drop
lame.
dead gorgeous, she's fit, she's this, she's that. Me and her are the two people that if you saw us in a bar, we're the ones you want to go up to.
Okay, you don't have to keep going.
Because we're so,
Damn.
like, we're so attractive. He's like, basically he's like, I'm so fine and she's so fine that we're the people that you gravitate towards. We're the people that you look for. And he was like, it's crazy that I was falling for, like, both of you. And then at the end, he was like, I chose you.
Ouch.
And
What
he's
was
like,
her response to that?
she was just nodding.
Yeah.
And then he said, he was like, I hope that you're okay with me being this honest with you at the end of it. And she was just like, and she just like kept nodding her
She
head.
gotta process
And as
it.
time has gone on, this is still a thing, and and it's getting worse and worse. At that time, he was still at least being affectionate with her and still wanted her around. Now that they're at the part where now they are in the apartment and living together and stuff, they don't really hug anymore. You know, he don't, and it's kind of turned into their argument now is him really kind of flat out telling her that I don't have sexual attraction towards you like that. And he was like, and so now any other little thing that comes up that I don't like, it's a big thing because I'm thinking on top of that, I'm not even
I don't even
sexually
fuck with you
attracted
that
to you.
much.
Right. And she's literally arguing her point with him on some,
Which is what?
you should be with me anyways,
Oh no.
Based on what?
based on their emotional connection.
Okay.
Because he's like,
but it's not there.
Because he's still saying we have a strong emotional connection.
But you don't.
And she's saying going for your type has never worked for you, you know, this long. And she's like, and that's why we're here now. And she was like, basically, she's just like pleading her case on some, why won't
Oh, I
you
hate
work
to
this
see
I
out?
ain't
Like,
pleading my
we
case
should be
to
working this
nobody.
out. And I'm looking at it like a man is sitting in your face telling you, I'm not attracted to you.
Right.
And you're like,
That sucks.
well, we should do this anyways
That makes me
because
really sad.
because we have this strong emotional connection. But I think that whole thing is trash. That brought up to why I said I think this may be my last season, because I feel like Bartise is somebody that was never there for the experience in the first place. You were just somebody that considers himself a cute guy. He thinks he's very fine. And you just signed up.
What do you think?
About his appearance? He's okay. Like, he's not like ugly by any
Yeah.
means, but he's also not.
Drop dead.
Yeah, like watching the show and just watching it, I would have never been thinking to myself, I would have never sat here and been like, girl, have you seen
He's
it?
like
Bartise? Fine as fuck. Like, I would have never thought that deep into him. But he's
Yeah.
tall and he's fit. And,
Sure,
and
right.
then he has like a decent face. So
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
all the makeup of like an attractive
a
person.
decent face
he's
is
tall
funny.
and he's fit and he has an attractive face. And
Question is he
right.
attractive? I mean, he's
Right.
tall and he's
Right.
fit.
he has money, like a real nice car. Just keep
He
saying
treats his mother like super well.
Yeah.
You know, like, just like
Super.
Like, but you know,
But
whatever.
and that's also happening in one of the other relationships too, where
With
the
Cole
girl
and Zaynab.
Zaynab and
Cole and
Cole. Cole
I'm starting to get like you now, where I just repeat everything you say.
Cole is also saying now that he doesn't feel as sexually attracted to her, and that another girl is there engaged to another guy that he also talked to in the pods. But he had turned that girl down and told her, like, I don't really feel anything with you. And so, but he sees her and he was like, whoa, that's when I'm genuinely
Wish I could put my dick in that.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
At some point, his fiance,
supposed to say
feeling
his
the
dick.
insecurities, I guess, of the moment, and she can kind of sense that he is attracted to the other girl or whatever, ended up asking him for some reason to rate her.
Oh God.
And he rated her a 9 out of 10.
Oh, that was
And
nice.
but then she asked him,
Could have been worse.
is there anybody here
Oh,
that is a 10 out of 10? And he said, yes, 2 other girls.
2 other girls.
He said, yeah, there are 2 girls here that are 10 out of 10. And
She top
so she was, really hurt and pissed about it. And his argument
That
was the
sucks.
whole like, okay, well, do you want me to just walk around with blinders? Like, oh, I don't see people and I don't think anybody's attractive but you. And da-da-da-da. And I don't see anybody. And then he was like, nobody does that. He was like, unless you're married to fucking Kim Kardashian. He was like, and you look a little bit like her. He was like, so you're almost there.
Whoa. These are ruthless.
So, but it made me really think
Yes.
about that. There is a very thin line in my mind
Yes.
between honesty and just having open, honest, conversation in your relationships versus you're being disrespectful. You're being wild as fuck. Like, you're not respecting me, my feelings, our relationship as fiancés,
Correct.
Yeah.
or partners in any type of way.
So you think both of them were disrespectful as hell?
Yes. Yes. I definitely think that they were both disrespectful because that's just not something that's not a way that you talk to your partner.
Right.
That's not, and also I think, which is another thing that I was going to bring up later, I honestly think that when it is real love and you are genuinely in love with somebody, I think that those are not even your thoughts to begin with. Remember we talked about the man that wrote the thing for his wife and was like, you're not the prettiest, you're not the smartest, you're not the most beautiful.
but you're mine,
Yeah,
and
but
I love you.
And it's kind of like,
That's terrible.
Would have kicked
how
him
did you
down
fall? The type of love that I would, want to be in.
The steps.
How
That's
did you
exactly
fall
what I want to talk about.
madly in love, head over heels with somebody that you don't see as the most beautiful? And it's like, yeah, regardless to what the public may think or what on paper, the girl Raven, she's tall, she's fit, she's this, she's that. The dude, Bartiz fiance, she's a little shorter, she's a little like, she's a little chubby. Like she's not big by any means, but she's not like a perfectly sculpted,
Right.
human
Right.
being. So it's like, regardless to like maybe what the public eye might think, but it's like for you to fall in love with her when you saw her, your mind is what should have thought this is the most beautiful, woman I've ever seen. Not then see somebody else and be
Right.
like, well, I would give you a 9 and her a 10.
Yeah.
That's
That's why I think that it's really important. And one of the things, like in a different world, if I were not even just a producer on this show, but like somebody, like let's say I was a consultant on the show, like a relationship consultant or something like that, and they were like, what are the things that the people should be focusing on before they meet?
Right.
I think that it's really important that people talk about their definition of love and they talk openly about what their values are. Because I think that with those things being clear, it makes communication so much easier because you already understand the mind from that person is coming from, right? So like your thoughts of like, if you really love me, this shouldn't even be a thing. But that's based off of your definition of love, and his definition of love is like, could be like, I really love you, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you that I find you more attractive than everybody in this room when I don't. You know what I'm saying? But like, if that's something that's important to me, like, no, actually, bitch, I need you to always say sorry. Don't call you a bitch.
Yeah,
but,
let's call her one.
like I actually do need you to always tell me, like, if I'm in an insecure moment to where I'm like literally fishing for compliments, like I'm fishing for validation, I'm fishing for reassurance. I need you to love me in the way that I want to be loved, which is you being like, girl, I don't even see nobody else in this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they don't know each other's definition of love. And they went into it with this abstract, what the media and rom-coms and like all these things tell us is love. And they're like, well, yeah, I love him. We talked for hours and we have all these things in common and all this emotional, bonding and da-da-da. But y'all don't agree on the same idea or the same definition of what love is. And so now you're expecting him to love him and love you in a way that he don't know nothing about.
My thought was that I don't think that they do love them. Is what I don't think that, I'm not saying that they don't love them.
Yeah,
you may love
but you're not
them, like
in
you can't,
love.
right? But
Yeah.
I don't think that they are in love. Is what I'm saying.
For sure.
Because it's not about like when he was all like, so you want me to walk around and act like I'm
the
blind and
blinders?
don't see people? And it's like,
Yes.
obviously we're
No,
all
I'm just
human
kidding.
beings. If I'm standing in a room with my nigga and Michael B. Jordan,
I knew you were gonna say
I'm
him.
not gonna not think that Michael B. Jordan is fine
Yeah.
or
Right.
something because I'm
Because I
like,
thought it before he walked in here. So why
right,
would I
yeah.
not
So
think that
it's
now?
not about that, but
Right.
it's not. But the thought, I can never imagine being like, in this room, babe, you're a 9,
Right.
he's a 10. It's
Like,
like
let
it's
me
that
tell you
those
that.
thoughts when you are in, because you see your partner on that same level.
Right.
Is the thing. It's not
But
about.
at the same time, I think that without a clear definition of love, he don't even know that he's not in love. You know what I'm saying? Like he thinking like, I just went on this like completely way out of left field as experience where I would never get an opportunity to do this in real life, where I literally sat and I talked to this bitch behind, I keep calling people bitches. I talked to this person behind a wall for weeks and like, I'm in love. I gotta be in love because out of everybody I talk to, I still trust. Like to him, he might be like, I am in love with you. But then that's when you have to say like, well, what does love mean to you? What does that mean? Like, because for me being in love, I would never in a million fucking years, when my partner asked me, well, rate me on a scale of 1 to 10 and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, I would be like, you know what? Even if, personally, I would be like, this is stupid. I don't know. I honestly, I would probably ask my partner if they asked me to do that. I would be like, what is the intention here? What are we trying to achieve by doing this? Because I'll do it for you, but I want to know
He's
what
turned
you
into a very serious conversation. What are we trying to achieve?
for real.
Like,
because I want to know the underlying thing. Like, let's
Yeah.
address the thing. Like, am I not making you feel loved? Do you need
Right.
validation? Do you need reassurance? Like, what is it that you're trying to get at by me participating in this? Because if you want me to be honest, and I genuinely feel like on a physical, you're asking me like only physically, we're not taking into account like all of the conversations and all of the ways that we're emotionally attached to each other. You want me to tell you straight up if you or motherfucking Denzel Washington is like, who's like, dog,
Yeah.
tell me what you really want. I'll give it to you. But it's like for some people it's like, well, honesty is, I know I love someone when I don't lie to them, and it's just like, but you're being a fucking asshole about it. Like
the
you're
same
not
time,
you're not
yeah.
reading the room.
Right.
You're not reading the
And
room.
I think it's
said it.
different too, which made me think about season 2 with Shake, is that he felt this way from the beginning.
From the giddy
He
up.
didn't need to see anybody else. He didn't need to know, what I could have had or what was there
Yeah,
before
it wasn't
feeling
about nobody
those
else.
feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was literally about him, But for these couples, unless it is TV, things get cut out, so it's like, who
Exactly.
knows? But
Yeah.
for these couples, it's like you didn't really start seeing that until they saw what else they could have had. Until they saw, like, damn, I was talking to that girl, but I chose her. And for both of them, it was like, damn, I had that one, and I turned it down and picked this one.
Right.
Even the guy was like, which I think was a little, he didn't do it on purpose, but he
Yeah.
was like, he's like, you can't blame me for being attracted to her. And he was like, I spent my whole life dating girls named Emily. He was like, that's why I got the Emily and Sarah thing from earlier. He was like, I spent my whole life dating girls named Emily and Sarah. He was like, and now I'm with a girl named Zainab. He was like, you can't be mad.
Is he white?
He's white, yeah. And he
Zainab
was
is
like,
obviously a person of color.
no, yes. And he was like, you can't be mad at me for for just saying like, oh, this is the type of girl that I was always like attracted to. He's like, do you think? He's like, what do you think?
First of all, I ain't never letting a white man talk.
So-
Girl, you
how
lost.
was he
Now it all.
He wasn't saying it maliciously.
It don't
at
matter.
all.
No, it
But-
don't matter what he was saying. You telling me you a white telling me that you're not attracted to me or that you're attracted to somebody else, baby. If you don't beat feet, get the fuck out of here. But also oh damn, I lost it. Oh, I was thinking about something.
Come on, bring it back.
It's gone.
So what do you think you value most in a partner? Do you value that brutal honesty? Like you want to know exactly what it is? Or do you value more being considerate of my feelings?
I think that one of the things, and I think that it upsets me that people feel like there can't be both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just had this conversation with my mama yesterday. I asked my mother, I said I want her to start practicing premising because we butt heads when I feel like I know why you're asking me a thing. So it'll help me if you say like, hey, I'm not asking this to like offend you. Or I'm not asking this to like premising it so that I'm like, oh, she's not asking me this to make me feel sad or to make me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Premise. That doesn't mean you don't say the thing.
Yes,
So if I
exactly.
say like, baby, I had 10 in here, and you say like, I'm not gonna say what you want me to say. I want to know why you want, like, you know what I'm saying, like saying more things rather than just being like, hell no, girl, you an 8 at best, but I fuck with you. I like how you talk. I like how you write. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like body only, babe. And my intent is just like, no, but you smart as hell. Like, you know, you start, bitch, don't fucking play with me. But like, I think that people need to understand that you can do both. But
You
for
can definitely
me,
do both.
I value sweetness. I think that I'm in a space in my life where it's just like, treat me kindly. Like, because when you are brutal with me, it makes me wonder, like, how do you see me?
Yeah.
Like, what about me gives, like, oh, she deserves tough love.
Right.
What
Oh my
about me
God, thank
gives
you.
that? Like,
Thank
why
you.
is that? And if you're someone who sees me like that, then I don't want you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree because in those scenarios that I gave out, the honesty about where we are didn't need to include other women.
Period.
You know, so you expressing your feelings or how you're feeling or what's going on in your mind and wanting to be honest about that is fine. I mean, first of all, you have to do that. We need that, especially in such
context,
a tight where we have 4 weeks to decide are we about to get married or not. You know, you have to be open
Which is
about
still so
that.
crazy.
But that doesn't include other people. That has nothing to do with the way you see another woman, you thinking another woman is attractive. Why do you need to tell me that? Because you're always gonna, every time you go outside, are you gonna come home and tell me like, I saw a woman, she was fine. Like you have what did that have to do with anything? And then it's also too about the boundaries of, regardless to where we go moving forward, right now you are my fiance.
Period.
And I expect you to conduct yourself
I will beat
as
your
such.
ass.
Yeah, I expect you to move as such. In the real world, you can't go up to another woman and just want to be like, no, I'm telling you right now, you fat as hell. Me and you, any given day, it would be me and you. We the ones that look like we belong together. You know, like you don't just go up to women, you know, talking like that when you have a partner. So I think that I do value the honesty. I just don't. But I know for a fact that that's not what y'all were doing. Right. You know, you were not giving honesty. You were giving meanness and being careless with someone's feelings and doing it purposely almost to see how far you can push somebody.
Yeah.
To see almost, I feel like in those cases, to see if I can get her to run away before I have to push her away.
Exactly, because you're a coward. And you don't want to be the one to be like, oh, actually, these feelings that I feel, the fact that I have the capacity to be in this room with all these other people and second guess and all this stuff, maybe that's a sign that I shouldn't be with you. Maybe that's a sign that we should just cut our losses and just, you know, go ahead and do this. But instead of doing that, because I'm pussy, I'm just going to be like, hey, keep poking the bear. Like, you're not that fine. I don't know. These other girls and hope that and that's, so the book Attached talks about why anxious and avoidant people always attract each other. Because the avoidant person is damn near going out of their way to get the anxious person to stop loving them and to stop being with them. But the anxious person is always fighting for the validation. So it keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And when we have these friends who we talk to for years, and it's just like, why are you with this nigga still? Or like, why are you with that girl still? But that's what's going on a subconscious level, where it's like, I'm fighting for validation and you're giving me something to fight for by all of this protesting. The more that you say like, oh yeah, you're not really my speed. The more that you do stuff like that, I have a purpose now. The purpose is fighting for you to validate me in the way that I need to be validated.
And that's what the first
and you
couple
never
was
get
going
it.
through.
Yeah. And I think that
Sad.
I love the Love is Blind concept, but I
Yeah.
think that is the only one of the downfalls to that show is that they build such this emotional strong connection that when they meet and now they're in real life, when one person is clearly showing that they're not in it, the other person is still in the bubble. They're still in that bubble of what they created or what they thought they created.
Yeah.
And that whole like, but we were perfect, you know, like we were bonded, we were this, we were happy. So it's like they feel like they are actively fighting for something. So it's like, even though that person is looking them in their face and telling them, I'm not attracted to you. It's like in her mind, it's like, but we could be so perfect.
Right.
I need you to just
And that's
get
like
over
so
that.
small in comparison to this big thing that we
she's
created.
like, we just went through this whole experience, you know. And on top of that, for her perspective, it's also like, and this wasn't even talked about in the beginning. You know, she's like, I just need you to get back to the guy that you were. You know, if you can go back to being the guy that you were when we first met up, when we first hugged, and give me all that energy, we'll be fine. Because from her perspective, it's like, well, you were attracted to me yesterday.
Correct.
So just be attracted
That's
to
what
me
I was
today.
gonna say.
You
That's
know?
what really disgusts me about this season. You saying that they actually went on with having sex with these people and stuff like that. That
And
but-
bragging about it. Bragging about it happily. Like on the screen the next morning, like, we had a great time. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 times. In her words, excelente. Like, bragging
loser.
about it. Like, you had a
What a
great
loser.
A
time.
fucking loser.
But now next week, you're not attracted to her.
Yeah.
yeah, that would, and I know it's like I empathize with these women for, you know, being anxiously attached and having that subconscious thing kind of guiding them like, well, I have to fight for this. I have to fight for this. I have to fight for this. But that would have been what did me in. Like, we had sex. And just for you to turn around and be like, oh, I don't think
Because there's too much
Yeah.
beforehand.
you lucky if you walk out with both your feet after that conversation.
Because there's too much beforehand. We didn't just have sex like you met me in a bar. We
No.
had sex as an engaged couple. So that
Yeesh.
was the next
Yeah.
part.
I
you
would-
know,
my pride
we had
wouldn't let me stick around for that.
like we had never seen
No.
each other. We got engaged without seeing each other. So now that we do see each other, the first thing we did was consummate the relationship. So in anybody's normal brain, they're gonna think we're solid.
We're doing the
Yeah,
things.
like we're solid now. Like
Because now
that
we know
was-
we're sexually
yeah,
compatible.
Like that was the only missing piece. So it's like, why would you jump to that and now you want to backtrack?
I wouldn't want to be with them either because, like, so I am a person, I think I've said this on this show maybe a couple of times. I don't like the word loyalty. And it always was kind of like a red flag to me when I was, like, in the dating world and the nigga was like, oh, yeah, I need somebody who's loyal. I don't like that. But it's because of the context around that word. It's like, I think of like a dog. Like, you want someone who's just going to, like, always be running to the door for you no matter who you show up as, like no matter how you treat me, no matter like what you give me, like you just want somebody who's always there. Just like that's what I think about when I think of loyalty. But in the context of what loyalty really is, these people are not loyal fucking people, and that would be what does me in too. Like
At all.
Like, you're not even, like, you couldn't even stay solid for the night of us, like, being around all these people. Like, you couldn't even just stay solid and be like, well, I made my choice, and let me just stick this out. Because there's a million other we still got, 4 more weeks of this.
And we have so much to do.
So much to do.
So much
It's
to
like,
do,
let
so
me
much
just
to
get to the
think
end of
about.
this and see. You know what
Let
I'm
me
saying?
focus on you. I'm not even, it doesn't even
Try.
matter that she's fine. It doesn't matter that these other women are beautiful because
They're not
I
who I'm
hitched
with.
my wagon to you and we have a lot to figure out.
Yep.
If anything,
They
that
don't
that
even-
just added on to like your confusion or whatever, but
Right.
you have to worry about yourself.
Right.
And what you're feeling internally.
Even if the conversation at the end of the night was like, oh, so how did you feel about seeing all of the couples? Even if the conversation was like, I was really taken aback by how attracted I was to the other person who I spent as much time talking to you. Like,
Yeah.
even if you were open in that way, where you're just
Yeah.
like, just get that out in the air and make sure that that's not like a secret or you're not like lying about it, but reiterating that your focus is on the process that you already chose to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you gotta see it through.
Gotta see it through, my boy.
Gotta see it through. I know we've kind of touched on it a bit with what we want from our partners, but with yourself, do you think that when interacting with people that you use like just a bit, like, do you just use brutal honesty? Do you think that you come to people like, hey, this is what it is. However you're gonna take it is how you're gonna take it, and that's that? Or do you think you try to be sensitive or considerate or
Absolutely.
you know?
Because I want that.
I just read y'all the text that I sent to the dude who was fucking blowing me up.
Yeah,
when I
had
could
to
have
talk.
been like, I don't know who you think you are calling me, but don't call again. Like, I could have just left it at that. You know, and this is not even a person that I'm like with or dating. That was someone that I just met. But I always think that it's really important. I don't know. I also just never want, this might be like a trauma response actually more I think about it, but like, I don't want anybody going out into the world with like shitty feelings about me. Like, if things just happen, if it's out of my control, there's only so much I can do. But in the things that I can control, I can always control how I speak to you.
Yes.
I can
exactly.
always
Why do
control
people get that concept?
like how I conduct myself as we're ending a connection, especially. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because a lot of times you got time to think about that. A lot of times you don't just blow up and break up in the heat of the moment.
Right.
You have time to be like, okay, I've come to the personal consensus that I don't want to be with this person. I don't want to deal with this person. So let me do it in a way that is loving and gentle and kind, and don't leave them feeling like shit, because that's not my intention for nobody, even when they do suck. I don't want you feeling bad on my account.
Right.
And I just, it sucks because on a human level, what I know about the mass array of humans, I know that that's not easy for everybody. And it hurt. It sucks empathizing with that. It sucks because in my mind, I'm like, what is so fucking hard about taking a few extra seconds and just saying like, hey, I'm not, even if you say something shitty and you kick it off by saying, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but like, your breath, it really sucks. It's really, you know what I'm saying? Like, that might really still hurt that person's feelings, but you at least set the intention of letting them know that that's not your intention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I be looking, and I think niggas in particular be like real callous sometimes. It's just like, no thought at all. Just
Yeah.
like no idea of like, oh, maybe I just shouldn't be a bitch about this. Like, maybe I shouldn't be a dick about this.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
I think the balance is very important, but it goes back to kind of what I said before. I think that love and respect is what automatically just creates the balance. You know, it's not something that I have to actively practice. You know, I don't like, it's not something that I have to go out of
I
my
do.
way to be kind to someone,
natural.
you know, to the people, you know, to just humans. How you like, I'm just not a bitch. I'm not a mean, you know, I'm not a mean person, or I'm not a person that wants to make people feel bad.
Right.
And so it's not something that I have to like constantly just like remind yourself, be nice, you know,
Right,
don't do
right.
this or don't do that. I just do it. And I know you are a person, you've always said, I love everybody.
I
You
do.
know, you give love to everybody.
Which is why I know that I don't have the same experience as you,
And-
because I still got to remind myself.
Well, no, I was gonna say
still have
that's why you just, I was gonna say, and that's why you just said that you don't want anybody to feel, you know, to feel bad. You just said like, I don't want anybody to have a bad experience with me, or I don't want to make anybody intentionally, you know, feel shitty. And when you talk about how there are some men or just people in general
Yeah,
that are
people
so
in
like
general, for
callous
sure.
with their words, or are just so not caring about what they're saying, it's because they don't have that in them. They don't have that respect level, or they don't go out into the world with the thought of like, you know, I love everybody, or I love,
Yeah.
you know, like people really are just not, it's just not that important.
Yeah.
You know, like your feelings are expendable.
Right. I just think for me that love and like me having love and respect, that doesn't make that a default for me. Like I am still, especially depending on what frequency I'm on a personal level, I can be a really mean person. Like, and so I literally actively have to be like, remember that your intention is not ever, because it is that's like my umbrella. Like my intention is never to make it. What do I always say? My intention is to enjoy myself and be a positive source for others. And so I want other people to feel good, but I have to like choose that, because that doesn't just come off of me at all. That's why I love that you say that, but that's why I like reiterate to myself that like it really is important that you know each other's definite what love means to people, because like just because I love there are people that I love to death that I've treated terribly. I've treated really, really bad. And I have to really make sure that I don't do that. And unfortunately, just me loving and respecting them, that doesn't create that default for me. And I think it's like that for a lot of people.
That's probably a good thing, too. Like, at least what I was looking at on Love is Blind, it was like, even though I felt like it was fucked up the way they were like talking to them, but at the same time it was like, but you're getting what you need.
Absolutely.
You know,
and
the
it's up to you to
information
do
of
with
knowing
it.
how somebody feels about you, or knowing,
Yes.
okay, this person, like you just said, can love me, and it's not going to change the fact that they're going to treat me like
Exactly.
shit.
Exactly.
You know, it's the reason enough, you know, to still move around or, you know, do what you need to do. It's like the honesty, as hard of a pill as honesty can be to swallow, like when it's that like careless, it's still, you still can't go wrong with it.
Absolutely.
Because
It's better
still,
that way.
Yeah, it's still information
Really?
that you needed.
Yeah.
So
If you use it and you actually take that as motivation to like move around or find what you are looking for, it's actually better that they gave it up like that.
because I know I can be very like straightforward and nonchalant and very like this is what it is. But usually when I have that attitude, it's because I don't care what's gonna happen next. You know, so like I've been with people, I've talked to people and been like, yeah, I don't like you, or like, yeah, I don't this, or yeah, I don't, you know, just anything. But I'm talking like that because I don't care.
Yeah.
Because that love and respect isn't there, like for me, you know. So I'm just like, I don't really care what you do with this information. Like, I wouldn't talk to you like that otherwise.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love a deep.
Yeah,
That's
I
all for
like
today,
that song.
folks.
Is that all for today?
That's all for today.
Well, ladies, gentlemen, and thadies, I think that this is as good a time as ever to make sure that you are setting the intention to treat people well and to be clear with yourself about what it looks and feels like for you to be treated well. Because I think that's where a lot of people get fucked up. Because just like you were saying, like they were so callous about it. And I think that is the best way for them to have given it up to you. Because a lot of times if you're a bitch like me, sometimes when people do give me certain information with a spoonful of sugar, I'm only thinking about that sugar. Because the anxious part of me is like, well, I want you to like me. So I might hyper focus on the sugary part, like, oh, but he still likes me because this and this and that. So if you got somebody being like, it's one thing to be in that situation, and it just might take you a little bit more time and a little bit more effort to get to the point where you realize like, hey, maybe this person still isn't really treating me the way I want to be treated. If you're in that situation, give yourself grace, give yourself patience and gentleness as you figure that out. But if you're somebody where somebody giving it up to you, like shorty, out of everybody in here, you're a 7 and there's people in here that are a 10, kick that bum to the curb, okay? You don't deserve that. You're better off being alone than being with somebody who does not value the way that you feel, because fuck that shit. And alongside doing that, make sure that you follow us on all the places where we can be followed. You can follow us on TikTok at Away With Words, the podcast. And you can follow, you know what? You can follow me on TikTok at Breed Stories. I was a little hasty about like gaining a lot of attention on TikTok because
You never said your TikTok on here?
no.
Oh shoot.
No.
I never realized.
It's Breed Stories though, just like my Instagram. But I was a little hesitant about that because I am very, very raw on TikTok. Very raw. I'm very honest. I am talking, and then it's like, it's also just like the timing of it. Like I'm talking in real time. It's everything about it. It just feels very personal and very vulnerable. So at first I was like, this is just whoever finds it, but this is just for me. But if you want to follow me on TikTok, you're welcome to. You can also follow us at Away With Words, the podcast on Instagram, and follow me there at Bree.stories, and follow me on Twitwat at Bree_stories. And you can follow at Tati on Instagram and at Hey Tati on Twitwat. Tati, do you want to tell me your TikTok too or no?
I mean, like, it's there. It's just no TikTok Tati.
Oh, yes, at No TikTok Tati.
Yes.
And make sure that you're following at MJM Kid and at Moments_Stu, because you just gotta.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do.
I'm on TikTok
So,
too, you guys. So.
What's your TikTok?
MJM Kid.
Period. Everywhere. Everywhere. Yes, everywhere. We can bring that back.
Everywhere. Yeah.
And make sure you're following at Be Easy. What's your at Be Easy? Period. Please be easy. Period.
Yep.
So yeah, we love you all for doing it, and we're gonna see y'all next week.
We will.
Talk to you later. Everybody say bye.
Bye.